States of matter. We know this thing very well that matter exists in three states, that is solid, liquid, and gas. There are some other states of, or also we'll discuss other states when we go uh, further right. So states of matter is like that. If we take an example that water can exist in three states. First is solid, second is liquid, and third one is gas. So this is the physical property of matter. So state, you can, if you want to just define it into a word, say state is the physical property. Okay, you can see, you can just recognize after seeing the compounds that if something is having proper shape, structure, and occupying space, so that is solid state. And if the material is liquid, it has the tendency to flow, and it can attain the shape of any object in which it is filled, so that is liquid state. And gaseous state is that we, in that gases are free to move. We can't see gases actually, because there is no force of attraction between the molecules. So physical properties are actually different. Means ice has different property, water has different physical property, and steam or vapor gas has very different properties. Okay, so all these states of water have chemical composition same. Means H2O is there, H2O is there in solid, H2O is there in liquid, and in vapor also, right? So characteristics of these states of water depend on the energies of the molecule and on this manner in which the water molecules aggregate, right? But in other aspect, if you want to differentiate in the chemical properties and physical properties, that how these physical states just affect the chemical state or chemical properties. So chemical properties of a substance does not change with the change of its physical properties, but rate of the chemical reaction do not depend upon the physical properties, right? It's just do depend on the physical properties. For example, if you want to melt, if you want to change water into vapor, at that time you have to give extra heat to break that bond, right? So if you want to change the liquid to gas, so you require less amount of heat to break that bond between the hydrogen molecules, and that will be like 100 degrees Celsius, right? So chemical properties are affected by the physical state. Okay, because there is a difference in bond, there is a difference in like properties of bond, density, molecular shape, polarity. There are so many things which are affected by the physical state. So chemical effect, chemical reactions, or the chemical properties, rate of chemical reaction, we say specifically that rate of chemical reaction, it does depend on the physical state, right? So existence of these states depend on the force of attraction which exists between these the molecules, right? The force of attraction which exists just responsible for the state of matter, right? So matter, the matter is just it's the composed of atoms and molecules. This thing we know very well, right? So there is some force of attraction that exists between these atoms and molecules. So the arrangement of these building blocks gives a matter to various state, physical properties, and chemical properties. And now if we talk about the force of attraction which exists between these atoms and molecules. So the force of attraction between these molecules give matter its physical properties based on which the matter can be classified into solid, liquid, and gases. The force of interaction between the atom molecule is higher in solid and least in liquid. And there is no force of attraction in gases. That is why the gases are free to move. Solids have strong force of attraction. That is why the solids have proper shape, proper structure. But in liquids, the force of attraction is weak as compared to the solid. That is why the liquids have tendency to flow. That is because of the force of attraction which exists in between the molecules of liquid. So means the ultimately the conclusion is the states of matter or matter can exist in different states. This is depend on the intermolecular force. So first intermolecular forces we'll talk about. The force of attraction exists among the molecules of a substance, that is gases, liquids and solid, are called intermolecular forces. The force which exists between the molecules, right? So there are different types of forces, intermolecular forces, that is dipole, dipole, dipole induced, dispersion, van der Waal, ion dipole, ion induced dipole, London force. So there are so many forces which exist between the molecules. Okay, so let's just talk about first force of attraction, that is dipole dipole moment. What do you mean by dipole? Dipole is that which have two poles, positive and negative. We know this thing that H2O is dipolar, hydrogen is positive and oxygen is negative. And how these dipoles form? Because one is donating electron, and the element which is donating, that is positive, and the element which is accepting that electron, that is negative. So it means dipole means the molecule which have two ends, one is positive and second one is negative. So if we take an example of HCl, so HCl, in which chlorine being electronegative acquires slightly negative charge, whereas the hydrogen becomes slightly positive, right? So chlorine is highly electronegative. This is halogen family is electronegative. So chlorine is electronegative. So being electronegative, it acquires negative charge, and due to the influence of this, it has partial positive charge, right? So due to this charge, we have so chlorine here is like negative, and another hydrogen of another molecule has positive charge. So these positive and negative charge just attract each other and form means exist between this and led to the force existence of force. Okay, so iron dipole dipole interaction can exist only between the permanent dipoles. Permanent dipoles means those the dipoles which exist actually. So HL, HCl, HF, these are the permanent dipoles. So the attraction which exists between this chlorine and this hydrogen is dipole, because we know this thing that opposite charges attracts each other. So being chlorine being negative and hydrogen being positive attracts each other, right? Second is ion dipole interaction. If we talk about the ion dipole, ion means we know this thing in ionic compound. When we dissolve our ionic compound in water or something dipole in dipole compound, water is considered to be as universal solvent. But still, oil does not mix in that, or the oil like things, petrol, diesel, kerosene oil. These things does not mix with the water. Why? Because these are not polar compounds. Only the compounds which have dipoles, permanent dipoles, can mix only with water and form ions. So let's just take an example. If I have glass or a glass of water, and if I add some pinch of Na in this water, then what will happen? The ion dissociate, the Na and Cl dissociate into the Na positive and Cl negative. Okay, salt formula of salt is NaCl, and ion at that time when you dissolve water and salt, what happen? Na positive and Cl negative. Got it? So now we have two ions there. One is positive and second one is negative. What will happen? This Na and Cl will is present in water itself, right? You can't identify by seeing that this is Na and this is Cl and these are water molecules. No, because uh, after separation, Na positive and Cl of separation, Na positive and Cl negative, they just attach to the water molecules, and how this attachment takes place. So Na is positive ion. Okay, being positive, it's just attract the negative, partial negative charge towards itself. Or you can say the vice versa thing. Oxygen being electronegative, it just attracts the towards the and positive ion and form just um, attached together, right? And in case of Cl negative is negative ion, right? So Cl negative is a negative ion and hydrogen is positive, and here with the chlorine ion, the water attracts towards the Cl being positive, because Cl is negative and hydrogen end is positive. So because of that, hydrogen get positive, partial positive charge and attract towards Cl. That is how this Na and Cl attached to with the water molecule. Okay. So the positive part, positive ion attracts the negative end of the water dipole, that is oxygen. Oxygen is electronegative, it has partial negative charge. So because of this, it will attract towards the positive ion. And if we talk about chlorine, so chlorine has negative charge and hydrogen has positive charge because of the opposite oxygen, right? So positive charge develop over hydrogen and it attracts towards the chlorine. That is how the force of attraction between the ion and dipole exists. So you can say the ion dipole attraction exists between Na positive and H2O, and as well as Cl negative and H2O, right? You can take some other examples also. For example, if I dissolve HCl in water, okay, hydrogen and this chlorine. So what will happen is when we used to dilute it, dilution means amount of HCl is more as compared to the water. Then what will happen? Uh, Hydrogen is positive ion and oxygen OH negative ion will form. Then what will happen? OH attracts hydrogen towards itself, sorry, yes, because OH negative is ion. At that time oxygen is bonded with hydrogen, so OH negative attracts the hydrogen towards itself, and chlorine will attract towards the hydrogen of HCl, hydrogen ion. So you can take some another example. Instead of this, you can take NaOH, sodium hydroxide. So this will happen, the reaction will be happen in the same way. Will separate out and OH negative ion will form. At this time, hydrogen is bonded with oxygen and it is in ionic form, and the ionic is negative. So this thing also happened with that. The Na attracts the oxygen which is present in the water, and OH attracts the hydrogen because OH has the negative charge, to which hydrogen has positive charge, right, because of oxygen. So that is how the things, the ionic compound dissolves in water. Okay, if this bonding will not take place, then the dissolution will not take place. If you are mixing a dipole into a dipole, then what will happen? Ion dissociate, the thing which you are dissolving, the solute will dissociate into ions, and that ion afterward just attracts towards the solvent, and in solvent this reaction will take place. The positive and negative end will attract towards each other, and this force of attraction exists. That is how this ion and dipole interaction develop, right?